Sir, good evening. Sir, will you taking or Pradyumna sir will be taking? Sir, are you taking or Pradyumna sir will be taking? Sir? Okay. Okay, okay. You will be taking the session, right? Okay. Will you be taking or Pradyumna sir, sir? Okay, okay, sir. I'll wait, sir. I'll wait, sir, until you join. Okay. Yeah, not an issue, sir. Okay. If you are unable to join, just to make a call, sir. Good evening, dear participants. Welcome back to the 5-day online FTP program on AI tools for research on behalf of Andhra Laila College, Department of Business Administration. It's my privilege to welcome you all to the fourth day session. Himjyoti madam, resource person has joined, ma'am. Take over the session. Himjyoti madam.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Good evening, respected colleagues and dear participants. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the day 4 session of our FDP, which is titled as AI Tools for Writing. So, over the past 3 days, we have embarked a journey of learning, sharing, and growing together as educators, researchers, and lifelong learners. Every day, we have brought new insights and thought provoking discussions on how to have excellence in our research. And we are privileged to have with us our resource person, Puneet Pathak sir. Thank you for joining us today, sir. And we are privileged to have you with us. Your expertise and your perspectives will undoubtedly illuminate today's session also. So thank you. So I thank the participants for joining us today, and your active participation will make this platform a powerful place to learn together. Thank you. Sir, you can take the session now, sir. Thank you.
All right, ma'am. Thank you so much. I hope I'm audible. And my voice is
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Great. Thank you. So good evening, everyone, once again. And I also welcome all of you to day 4 of our this 1 week long FTP on AI tools for research. And let me share my screen, and I think we can get started with the session for today. Just give me a moment. All right. So, in today's session, what we are going to be doing is we are slowly going to transition from the literature review section that we have seen yesterday with some of the tools that we have looked at. From there, we will try to move towards how we can get some help and utilization in terms of trying to utilize some of these AI tools for writing purposes also. So when I say help, I mean in the sense of these tools aiding the process of writing of any topic, project, or area that we are working on. And there are innumerable tools that are there in this category. I have tried to pick some of the ones that are fairly contemporary, that are actually going to help us maybe streamline the process of writing by gaining better insights also. Plus, as I mentioned yesterday when we stopped the session, when we stopped our discussion, if I remember correctly, that we also will be looking at one tool which will not only help us with writing, but it will also help us to gain insights from our existing papers and documents that we sort of go through when we do our literature review process. So, in order to transition from literature review to writing and to a sort of establish a bridge between these two sections, the first tool that I want to show today, which is something that is very, very interestingly launched by Google. And what is interesting to note that this tool was launched some time back and it's fairly new. And originally, the platform or the application that I'm referring to was designed to help us take better notes. So it was meant for a note-taking process or as a note-taking platform. However, given the kind of capability and strength that this particular platform has, we can have a variety of innovative use cases that it is capable of. And the tool that I am referring to is this very interesting platform called as Notebook LM, and this is its home page. Of course, it would be directly the best part about this tool, as I mentioned, I think yesterday also, is that it is completely free to use. It's not going to require any sort of premium plan to be used in terms of most of its features. And as I said earlier, since it's powered by Google, so it brings all of those trends into this platform. And this is the homepage. And earlier, this tagline used to say, if I remember correctly, it used to talk about note taking, but now they have changed it to your personalized AI research assistant. And we'll see in a moment how powerful this tool is and what kind of insights we can derive from it as we go ahead with the demo. But just to take us, just to very quickly show us the kind of user interface that this particular tool has, it's fairly simple and very easy to use. And in order for us to get started on it, what we have to do is we just have to click on this button right here, which says Try Notebook LM. It will bring us to our Gmail account, which of course then we can sign up on. And after that, we would come to something like this. So this is what Notebook LM would look like once we have signed inside it. And what we have to do very simply is we have to click on this button right here. And we can change between the views from these two, either by list view or the tiles view. And the documents that we would see here as a demo would then can also be filtered from here according to our requirement or availability. All right. So what we have to do is we have to go to this create new button right here. And once we open that, we would see that we are getting this new dialog box that pops up in front of us. And if I close it for a second, this is what the interface would look like. Pretty similar to the search input query window of ChatGPT. And in case we wish to bring back our resource option, it can be done from this button right here. If I click on this, it will bring back this original screen that had popped up. And I want to just take a moment to talk about the kind of integration that Notebook LM has done. So if you can just see on the screen, that it allows us to navigate through a variety of file types and platforms together in one go. So it supports PDF documents that we can upload. We can also upload .txt files. So our notepad files, if we have those, we also can add other kinds of formats like an MP3 audio files. Apart from that, Notebook LM can also directly integrate with our Google Docs and Google Slides. So if I go to Google Docs, for example, it would enable me to open any file from my Google Docs, which can be directly imported here as a source. So same goes for presentations and slides also. Apart from that, It is also capable of integrating within itself any website URL or any YouTube video link also, from which it would enable us to get information from. And of course, in case we have any descriptive text, I can click on the copy text option and I can paste my descriptive text here directly as well. So in this way, it's kind of allowing us to do all of it together in one single platform, as we would see. Another interesting and important element of Notebook LM is its capability to allow us to upload multiple sources together at the same time. So yesterday I mentioned, while we were discussing Elicit, I mentioned that the one major limitation which Elicit seems to be having in its free version is its limitation of uploading only up to 10 PDF documents. Whereas here we can see that we can upload up to 50 such file types, irrespective of whatever format they are. All of it together can be uploaded. So I can upload 10 PDFs, I can upload 5 audio files, 2 presentations, depends really on my requirement. And the total number of those sources can be 50 in one instance. And they support a very detailed page length also. So if I have a soft copy or a PDF of a text that I'm having, maybe a book, which is about, let's say, 150 or 200 pages or so, I can upload that also here, and that will then help me to gain the kind of insights that we are looking for. So let's try it for a moment. So what we do is very simply, we can either drag and drop our files, or I can click on the choose file option. And from yesterday, we have some of our papers that we had downloaded, if I remember correctly. So we'll try to upload those here. So I'm uploading about 5 files right now. And it will take a few seconds. Once those files have been uploaded, we should see a check mark right here coming up. And as we can see, for all the files that are there or that are selected or not selected, it would give us a short summary of whatever we are uploading on this side. We have a few other sections here that I want to talk about in a moment. I'll come back to that. But let me first show the tool itself. Let me delete some of these sources. In case we want to remove any source from here, we can simply click on these 3 dots right here, and I can remove it from this source, from this left panel right here. I'll re-upload them as we go ahead. But for now, let's just keep one so that you can see the kind of information that it can help us get. Okay. Let me remove this also. I'll re-upload all of them. So in case anybody has missed uploading of sources, we can just quickly recap that. So this is the blank screen, what it looks like. I can click on this plus button, or I can click on upload sources. I can click on choose file, and I'll simply select any one file that I wish to upload. And for that, I would be then getting a summary on this side. Right. Now, just like we normally use any other AI tools such as ChatGPT, we can start interacting with this particular platform. So for example, let's try to ask it a few questions about what the research paper is or the article is referring to. We'll begin with a very simple prompt, like what is the research paper about? Let's see what it comes out with. Yeah, so another important element or feature of Notebook LM is its way of generating the output. For all the questions that we are asking, or for any information that we try to extract from it, the output would be given in this kind of a bullet format style, which would be very succinct and very, very easy to read and go through. And we can see that it has tried to give us an idea about as to what this particular paper is referring to. If I zoom in a bit, we can see that this research paper written by these authors talks about the whole novel and its and then goes on to talk about what the paper is basically referring to, with some of the other insights that it was able to pull from it. And if I click on any of these numbers that are given here, for example, if I go to this one, it will show me the source, that is the document that I've uploaded, and the section from where this particular information is being extracted from, or what section is being used to give me this insight that it is referring to. And we can see that these numbers are there throughout all of the tools that are given here, and through all the content that is given here, and we can basically go to any of them for getting better understanding about them. If I hover over any of these numbers, it will give me that as a short pop-up which will come out right next to the number itself in case I don't wish to click on it. So in this way, so as I mentioned in the beginning that this is a note-taking platform. So that's why it's given in the form of a note, which I can simply, if I wish to copy paste this, I can click on copy, which is given right here. It will give me a message which says copy to clipboard. I can simply go back to my Microsoft Word document or Google Doc. Since it allows integration integrate the different platforms that we are using. So as you can see, I can directly paste whatever content I have or which is generated using this platform. Or else, if I don't want to copy it, since it's through the Google platform, I can simply click on this option right here which says save to note, which will save this in the form of a note with the numbers of citations that it is able to pull out from the document. And it will be here even if I log out and if I log back in, so I can access this from anywhere. And in this way, all the information for any particular project that I'm working on would be available inside one single workspace only. And for example, let's say that if I want to add a new note manually, because essentially, as I said, it's a note-taking app. I can click on the add note option. I can type my notes manually also. So it also takes care of that problem as well. And we can then edit this particular section like a normal word editor. We can change the style of the heading and the bold and italics and the rest of the elements, which would again be available inside the workspace itself. So apart from that, if I wish to delete any of these notes, I can select them from this checkbox or unselect them from here. And the moment I click on that, I can delete the notes from the delete option right here. Right. So let's try to delete this. We'll try to gain some more information from it. Let me change the source. We'll upload another paper and let's try to see some of the other features as well. Yeah, let's say maybe this one. Right. So we again have a summary coming up, and let's say, for example, I can maybe have a prompt or a topic which I can have a prompt or a text or an instruction which would allow me to identify maybe, let's say, a list of probable research areas that I want to look at. Something like this maybe. Future topics of research. Let's see what it is able to come up with. Yeah, so we have some of these topics coming up for our reference. Analyze how Walter Scott uses anachronisms and invented traditions to create a romantic atmosphere in Waverley, and explore the influence of romance on other historical novels, because this I think, if I remember correctly, this article is on historical fiction. See that if that is correct or not. So it would be available right here. Yeah. So yeah. So in this way, we are able to utilize Notebook LM to sort of glean information from the sources that we upload. So the possibility or the probability of it making errors like ChatGPT usually does is reduced up to a certain extent. However, even with this kind of an interface where it is keeping its analysis limited to the sources that we are uploading, it still gives us this disclaimer right here on the bottom where it says Notebook LM can make mistakes, so kindly double check. So that is something that is really good in terms of their awareness that they're trying to convey or create as far as this is concerned. So apart from that, we can then go on to keep on asking questions from whatever texts we have uploaded. Also, based on whatever conversation or whatever interaction I have with the documents here, we get a series of suggested questions that are given here further. So in case I want to utilize that, that also gives me an idea about what kind of further questions I can ask or what kind of further information I can convey or get Notebook LM to give to me. So with each question and with each response, the suggested questions will also change from here. So that's also something that is quite interesting in terms of trying to see what is the information that Notebook LM is pulling from when it comes to the documents or the sources that we upload on it. So these are some of the text-based features of Notebook LM, and it would really help us sort of interact with multiple documents, multiple base documents that we have, which we can put directly in Notebook LM, and we can start getting information from it. So let me remove this source and let's try to add multiple sources together at the same time. Let's see what kind of information it comes out with in that case. I'll remove the source. Let's try a website maybe this time. I'll try to upload 2 or 3 URLs. Let's see what it comes up with. Maybe this one. So the link option is available right here. I can click on URL. It will, so what it will do is it will try to go through that particular section. It should give me a summary of the source itself. Let's see whether it gives, because it is giving a summary of an earlier document. Let's see if it updates the summary or not. In case it doesn't give us the summary, then what we would have to do is we would have to create a whole new notebook itself, which is quite easy to do. So we'll see if it works or not. Okay, it has given us the summary of the Digital Humanities Wikipedia page. And in case we don't want to confuse it with the previous posts or the previous notes that we have taken out, I can simply go to the home page, which is available by clicking on this logo, and I can simply click on Create New, which will give me a completely blank canvas or a blank platform to work with. In this case, the confusion then can be avoided in terms of whatever multiple notes that we are creating. So each new notebook can then be essentially a separate project that we are working on, which would enable us to differentiate the information from one to the other. So let's go back to the website. Let me put in 2 or 3 URLs. That way we should have some continuity in terms of the topic this time, because all the papers that we tried were from different topics, I think. So there was some overlap there. Let me change. Let me keep it the same this time. Okay, maybe this one. And let's try one video. Let's see if it is able to integrate video and website URL together or not. Yeah, maybe this one. I'm randomly, it's a fairly long video, as we can see, about 1 hour, 15 minutes. And this time, all we have to do is, instead of going to the website URL, we go to the YouTube button. I'll upload the link here. And we can see that we should have the information now coming out much better, because there is a consistency of as far as the theme of the 3 elements is concerned. Let's try the same prompt as earlier, but we'll change the end objective this time. Instead of future scope of research, let's try asking for some limitations. We'll just give it a few seconds, and here are some of the limitations it was able to find. So let's say if I go to 1, and I think this is a transcript if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So what it has done is, for this entire video, which by the way can be played from here also, Notebook LM itself. So wherever I'm working with the video on, I would have the timeline in front of me, which I can scroll through and then come to any specific moment in the video if I'm studying the video reference. And from that transcript that it has generated, it gives me the exact location as to where it has tried to gain this information from. So this is the section in the somewhere in that video where it was able to understand the notion of obsolescence as a limitation. Then difficulty of evaluation. This is from the second source, I think. Yeah, this is the Wikipedia link if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so this is the Wikipedia section, and this is where it tries to pull out the information from. So in this way, it not only enables us to cross-integrate variety of inputs and get information from it in real time. So, and then as I said earlier, this would help us understand it better. So it has given us suggestive questions, quite powerful. That is, for example, what are some of the criticisms leveled against digital humanities? And we should be having a response coming up just from these three sources, as I mentioned earlier. And yeah, so there we go. Lack of critical focus, ignoring traditions, and then it goes on to talk about the same, which can, by the way, again be saved from here and copied from here as well. Okay. Now, another thing which I wanted to show before I move on to the next tool that we have for us today is, let me remove the sources, because in fact, let me go to a new notebook only. That will be better. Right. And right now, the way that they have designed Notebook LM is the feature that I want to talk about pops up only when we are opening or uploading the sources for the first time. So that back navigation is yet to be added as far as I am aware. So let me reinsert the link. And this feature that I'm about to show works for any input. It works for URLs, it works for documents, it works for video links, everything. If we see here carefully, it says deep dive conversation, 2 hosts, English only. Now, if I will click on generate, let's say I have clicked on it. I'll explain what this does because this will take time. As we can see, it says audio overview here. So what Notebook LM will do is whatever sources we have uploaded here, it will try to extract the information from it and it will try to convert it into an AI generated voice podcast. So once this is ready, we would be able to hear a conversation between 2 different voices in an audio format, which would give us the information that it has pulled out from the sources that we uploaded. Of course, the larger the number of sources, the more time it will take for this to generate. And another major thing to take a note of is I have to keep this page active. If I remove or close this page, this process will stop. And then I have to start it again. But it takes time. So maybe you can try it out at your own pace. Since we don't have the time to let the process complete, I'll try to let it run in the background. If it completes, we'll try to listen to it. If not, my suggestion is you can try the same once you explore Notebook LM. But it also therefore does allow us to listen to an audio input, an audio output of our input that we are giving to it. So that is something that is quite powerful in terms of the feed. So it's really an all-in-one platform which would try, as I mentioned in the beginning, it tries to bridge the gap between the literature review process and the writing part. Because then from there, we can sort of brainstorm with the documents that we are working with by asking it a variety of questions. So maybe something like this instead of, I'll have to remove this because I have one more prompt that I want to show. Let's say if I type something like this. So in this way, we can ask a prompt or a question whereby it would allow me to get some insights on what kind of research questions I can develop from this. So in this way, we can interact with a variety of documents, as I have been mentioning again and again. So that's the first tool for today. Quite powerful. It's called Notebook LM. It's very easy to access, and whatever information we gain from it, it will store it inside for our reference. Okay. Now, the second tool that I want to talk about in this category is another one, which is called as, it's something that has been around for some time now, but I think it does merit a mention here. It's a platform similar to ChatGPT, but it's called as Perplexity. I think some of us might be aware of it also. Let me log out from this particular account. I think I'll have to use another one because I have used up my daily quota for this one. All right. So we are back to the platform. And this is what Perplexity, it's called Perplexity AI. Let me, in fact, go to the homepage first. So this is the original homepage. Originally, it supports a dark theme. I have switched to a lighter one. I'll show that in a moment how we can do so. And the sign up process or the login process can happen from here. as we just now saw, we can either sign up with an email account or we can directly access it through these options that are given here, depending upon our preference. And once we have logged in, the first thing that I think we can do is we can go to the settings option right here, and we can change some of the settings depending upon our preference of using the platform. I can switch between the light and the dark theme. By default, as we saw, it works with a darker theme. Apart from that, we can change the language of the user interface. So it has quite a few languages that it supports, as you can see from this list right here, including Hindi. And we can select whichever one we prefer. And some of the other information as far as account deletion and profile changes are also mentioned here. So that is something important to take a note of. Then I can click on this logo. It will bring me back to this homepage. And it says right here that you are on our free plan. Please upgrade for more uses. But with the free plan itself, it's very, very powerful in terms of what it can do, as we'll see in a moment. Okay. Now, it says ask me anything right here. So essentially, it works just like ChatGPT, but why I said that it mentions a merit here separately is that it can help us really brainstorm in a good way in terms of the writing process. So for example, I'll give it a very simple prompt. We'll start out with something very, very simple. Suppose this is my prompt, that write a draft proposal for a book chapter on digital humanities and AI with a working title. I can simply click on go, and we should be having an output as we speak. So based on the input that we give, this is our working title, and then based on the kind of output that we have asked it to give, it gives us this very short draft to work with. And of course, this can be copied from here. I can copy this. I can directly paste it in my Word document that I'm using. Or maybe if I go to special paste, that also is possible. Yeah. Or else, if I don't want to do that, I can click on share button and I can share it with a link as well. That is possible to do so by clicking on the copy link option. It would allow us to share the viewing page just like Research Rabbit that we saw earlier. Apart from that, whatever input I give here and whatever output it generates, on the basis of that, we can ask it a series of follow-up questions for the topic or the area that we are working on, and that would also give us a better idea of what kind of information is available in terms of whatever sub questions we are asking to it. So I have randomly clicked on one question. It was, what are some of the key themes in digital humanities? And then it goes on to give me a list of key themes as well. And in this way, we can, as I mentioned earlier in the beginning, we can have a really good amount of initial material to work around with when we start our writing process. And another good thing about this particular platform is that whatever follow-up questions we are asking, for most of them, it will give us this list right here, which says sources. So if I click on show all, it will show me the web pages or the documents or the websites from where it has pulled this information. And if I click on that, I can directly visit that platform also. So I can also actually compare and contrast whether the information that is coming out is according to the source or not. So that also is possible to do right here within this platform itself. So that is something that is quite useful, and since most of this is, as I said, completely free to use, we can directly start accessing and using it. Apart from that, for any topic that we are trying to work upon, or for any topic that we are trying to look at using Perplexity, it allows us to go through these two options as well. The generate image option is behind the paywall, but it would allow us to search for any particular videos that are available on this topic. And based on the content that is generated by Perplexity, it will give us some recommendations on what kind of videos and images are available in this area. So that is something that is also possible in case we wish to sort of go through that as well. So these are some of the initial features of Perplexity, but that's not all. If I go back to the home page, this is where now from this next step onwards, the real strength of Perplexity starts coming into play, which is these two options right here. If I click on focus, for example, we can see that perplexity is divided into 6 different categories. Currently, what we were working with was the web option, which means that it can access the web and therefore it gives us those sources like this one from where it is giving us that information. Let's say I want to keep the focus of the query as search only, but instead of web, I just wanted to search for only academic papers. So I can shift the focus from web to academic. This time, let's see what kind of output we get. We'll give it a similar prompt. But let's try something different maybe. And I can click on enter. This time we can see that there are no other sources coming up. Once it finishes, we would see that there wouldn't be any other sources coming up apart from the papers that it is able to pull into. And whatever information or papers were available inside its database, from that it would give us this information. So, and if we copy paste and see the language and the output style between the web tab and the academic tab, we will notice a difference in terms of the language style that it is writing or that it is using. So that would be something quite useful in terms of the specific use case that we want to look at. We have a writing tab also, so whatever we wish to write, we can write that using the writing tab. So for example, write an introduction. Digital humanities, maybe if I type. So this particular focus, once shifted to writing, will just focus on writing itself. And based on my input or my prompt that I give or my queries that I ask, it will give me the output as well. Now I can ask follow-up questions. Now the focus is still on the writing tab. So as you can see, it tries to recognize the section that we are referring to, and on the basis of that, it will try to give us an output. Apart from that, there is another interesting and important feature that is important inside of, there are two important features that are useful in Perplexity. The first one is called the Pro feature. Now, the moment I come to this Pro button, it gives me a small insight into what Pro can do. It says that Pro search considers twice as many sources when searching for an answer. And the good thing with Pro is that in Perplexity, with the free version also, we get up to 3 Pro searches per day. And after 24 hours, it will reset itself, and then we can go back and use it after 24 hours as well. So let's try the web again, and we'll try. And therefore, again, if we try to compare the normal output with versus the Pro output, we would see a significant difference in terms of the language that it is coming up with. I'll give the same prompt again. So we can see that the Pro has been turned on, and it will actually show me the step-by-step process that it is trying to go through while trying to give us the information. And on the basis of that, then it gives us a detailed response. And if I click on show all, we can see that the number of sources will increase from 7 to 10. And it will try to really focus on the specific prompt that we have given. So that's what Pro does. It basically makes the return results much sharper. So that's Pro. And if we really want to utilize all the strengths of Perplexity together, we can not only ask questions, change the focus, but I can attach a specific document. So let's say if I have a paper that I'm working on already, let's say the same one, I can upload that paper. So unlike Notebook LM, this one allows us to only upload text and PDF files. And we can upload up to 3 files in a day with the free version. I can shift my focus to writing this time. Let's say this is my document. Assuming a hypothetical scenario, I have uploaded a PDF text. I have shifted my focus to writing, and we ask something like this: based on the attached document, draft proposal. No, let's say draft 10. abstract forum. Okay. So here in this instance, the pro feature was, so all of it is being used together. The pro feature is being turned on. It is using this file as one of the sources. And on the basis of that, then it would give me the output that I'm looking for. So in this way, we can have different permutations and combinations on the basis of our requirement. And then on the basis of that, we can see what kind of result it comes out with. But an important disclaimer at this point, for both the tools that I have shown, be it Perplexity, be it Notebook LM, these, I think I mentioned this on day 2 also, none of these tools are meant to replace our process of writing, they're meant to help us. So using them directly would of course amount to AI plagiarism, so something to, an important element to take a note of. So they're meant to help us make our research process better. Just a suggestion from my end on that. Okay, so that's the second one for today. It's called Perplexity. And the last one, which I wanted to show earlier, but I could not show the other day due to paucity of time, is a platform. It is again fairly new. Let me open the homepage of this first. Let me go to another tab. It's called as Napkin AI. Now, while Milence.ai would give us visualizations in terms of timelines and maps and flowcharts, etc., Napkin AI, on the other hand, gives us this kind of infographic visuals that we can generate. And the best part is, most of it is again free in the freemium. It's freely available to use, and it can, as we can see right here on the screen, it can integrate directly with our Office suite that we are using, and we can simply click on Get Napkin for free. And it would bring us to this homepage right here. It's still, we can see it's still in the beta version. It's under development, and we can sign in with our email or a Google account. And once we sign in, it would bring us to this homepage right here. Click on sign in, for example. Yeah, this is what I would get once we have created the account. I can copy paste my content, or I can generate a text in using any AI prompt. So if I click on generate a text, let me zoom in a bit so we can see the prompt. Something very simple, process of writing a research paper. I click on continue, and we would see that it gives us a step-by-step process that it writes. And now this is the best part. I can change any of it manually. I can add or delete the content from here. And apart from that, whatever I want to generate as a visual, I can select that section and I can click on generate visual. And from here, it will convert it to, it should convert it to an infographic in just a moment. Yeah, there we go. And then on the basis of our requirements, we can simply transition between the variety of styles that it offers to us. And if I click on any style in particular, it will give me a further subsection also. So I can now see and change whichever style is preferable to me. There are quite a few options to choose from. Let's say this is the one I want to go for. And once that is ready, we can do further editing from here. I can insert an image. I can do some sketching also. I mean, it depends upon our requirement. I can type something as well. It's up to us. If I want to change, let's say, the conducting preliminary research part, I go back to this section. I click on generate visual, and it will again bring me back to the same menu from here. And based on the content, it will suggest styles to us. So maybe let's say this one. I'm randomly picking it, and then I can edit it according to my requirement. Let's say I want to add a label here. So in this way, we can add some text also if we wish to. If I click on Spark Search, I can add anything that I want, maybe an arrow, and that will bring an arrow here. So just by giving a text-based input, it can allow us to insert any kind of images that we want it to give to us. And this way, the entire written content can be converted to different infographics, which can then be downloaded from right here. I can download as a PNG or as a PDF, depending on my requirement. If I click on PNG, it will open up this image for me. Let's say quite good for our reference or requirement. If I want to paste it in a presentation somewhere, I'll show it once again with this image. If I hover over this section right here on the right, that's where the export option is available. I'll come back to it. There are other options also. I can change the style. So this was what was coming there on the left panel. Now it is coming on the top. I can have any style that I want. Then the second button would allow me to change the aspect ratio if I wish to do so. And then there is a background color palette that also I can change depending upon my requirement. Maybe this one. Now I can click on export. Light or dark color, background on or off. I can turn this off. The resolution can also be changed. We can see the resolution changing here on the bottom. It's very lightly written. First one is 961 by 481. Then we have 1922 by 962 and 2883 by 1443. Maybe let's keep the background off. Let's keep it on, in fact. And I can click on PNG. It should download the image for me. So this is our image right here, or the infographic right here. So these are some of the tools that help us with writing. I hope that they have been useful, in particular Notebook LM, and this is another interesting tool that we can use for infographics. We have about 10 minutes. I am resting my session here. We can have some questions as well. So please feel free to post your questions in the chat box, and or else you can unmute and ask your questions also. Yeah. So over to you. The session is open for questions.
Thank you, sir. Puneet, sir. Thank you. I hope the participants are able to follow the 3 insightful tools what you have expressed today.
Sorry, sir, I lost the connection.
Participants, any queries are there, you just open.
Really emerging AI tools. Wonderful. When we seeing this is definitely we will use in our research.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Yes, I will be sharing the links with the organizers. They'll share that with you. We'll be doing that. I think I have shown the paths to open the tools. I have shown the homepage of all the tools, in fact.
This will come to under plagiarism also, sir. We'll
be talking about that tomorrow. I've kept plagiarism for tomorrow with the data analysis section. Yeah.
okay.
Yes. We'll be talking about that, sir. It's there on my list. Okay. Any more questions? Yes, I can see the same question regarding plagiarism in the chat box. I'll discuss it tomorrow. But yes, if directly used, it will show as AI plagiarism.
Any other participants would like to pose any questions to the resource person? You are free to ask.
Sir, can we copy the text from Research Rabbit platform directly?
Yeah, the abstract that it generates inside the dialog box can be copied and it can be pasted in the Word file. You can just drag over it and it can copy paste it.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I can see another question.
Sir, can we have a summarizing tools like once if we paste the paper of soft copy, can we get the summarized content? Is there any particular software?
So the 2 tools that I've shown today will help you do that. You can put it on Notebook LM, ask it to give you a short summary of your paper, it will do that for you. Perplexity will also do that. Notebook LM will work better because there isn't any limitation as such on that. You can upload multiple papers on that.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, welcome, sir. I can see one question in the chat box. Are AI contents ethical to use? If you're talking about plagiarism, it cannot be used directly. It will come under AI plagiarism, but I'm going to talk about that tomorrow in detail.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Sir, I have a doubt. When we use ChatGPT to upload this kind of PDF and summarize the content, there is a limit in ChatGPT. What about these platforms you shown in our session? What about these platforms, sir? Is there any daily limit, or is there anything like that?
Perplexity has a daily limit of 3 documents. Notebook LM doesn't have any limitations in terms of pages, but in one go you can upload up to 50 such input sources. Why I'm saying input sources? Because it will enable you to upload different sources at the same time. In one go you can upload documents, presentations, web links as I did just now, right? So yeah, it has a limit of up to 50 items in one instance, but the page limit is quite large. There is no page limit as such. Right?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Dr. Pallavi ma'am, can we use tools for SLR? Yes, definitely. They can help you initially begin the process of SLR as well. Okay, I think that's good.
Punit sir, one query is there from the YouTube, one of the participants from the YouTube. I'll just read
Yes,
it out.
sir. Okay.
They are just asking about what about the plagiarism? Will it be different from the human writing and AI? That is, they are asking is article spinner.
Okay, so even with article spinner, I mean, that's basically paraphrasing. I think that's what it is being referred to. Even if it is paraphrased using any such platform, the way that the content is generated has a very specific format of generating it. It's not like the way we normally write. So it will come under plagiarism. Normally, tools like Turnitin will very easily pick out that it's AI generated content. But there is a policy around how AI tools can be used when it comes to research writing. So I'm planning to discuss it tomorrow, sir, as I mentioned. So I'll talk about that at that time.
Right, sir. Thank you. I hope the YouTube participant question was been answered, and still something is there which will be disclosed by the resource person tomorrow. Dear YouTube participants, if anyone is there, you can post the queries in your chat box of the YouTube. For the next 2-3 minutes, we'll continue the Q&A session, and then we'll wind up the session today.
I think somebody has raised their hand. Sir, you can ask your question.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Leveraging technology, that is using ChatGPT and other tools, we can make use of technology to structure research articles, everything. How far it is ethical to rely completely on technology? If we depend completely on technology, does it reduces human creativity and intellectual skills?
If you so very important question. First of all, thank you so much for raising that question. If you heard what I said after I showed Perplexity, I said that none of these tools are meant to replace our process of research. They are meant to help us. That is one thing. Second thing is, for any of such tools that we are using for helping us in making the research process better, at every step it is important to verify the authenticity of the information that it is generating, and it should not be directly used, because if directly copy pasted, as I mentioned earlier, it comes under AI plagiarism, right? But at the same time, there are now what has happened is, as far as the publication part of it is concerned, there are policies that are coming into place as we speak. So for that part, I have kept it for tomorrow, once I show some data analysis platforms, because I want to discuss them at length in detail, line by line. So I'll be showing that tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your insight.
To respond to the last part of your query, I don't think it will technically kill any creativity. I think it's all about how better we are able to integrate these platforms in our day-to-day usage. If used ethically and properly, I think we can leverage them in a better way. That's my
Yes, sir. We can leverage. Now, as an academician, we need to simultaneously give the justification for the research as well as academia. So in this process, that technology can be used as a tool to leveraging technology, as I feel, not a wrong, but still we have to follow some ethical consideration. That is my concern. Thank you, sir.
And those guidelines are actually now in place as we speak. So that's why I'm saying Once I show that section tomorrow, it will become much. I hope it becomes a little bit more clear. So we'll be talking.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. Hemjyoti madam, we'll conclude this session, ma'am.
Yes, sir. To summarize today's session, we have gone through various AI tools for writing such as Notebook, LM, Perplexity and all. I thank our participants for your active listening and your great feedback on the session and the thought-provoking queries that you have raised. And also I thank our resource person for enlightening us on these AI tools. So thank you, sir. And we are expecting the next session also will be very thoughtful and enlightening session. And tomorrow we are having a session on AI tools for data analysis, which is very interesting. So I expect our participants to join us for tomorrow also. And please fill the feedback form that is provided on the chat box. Thank you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you, sir. Good night.